Man, y'all don't tell. This is I said tapping around my eye. I'm getting ready to show you guys some more stuff to corroborate with my story. That we have these extraterrestrial, I wouldn't call them unknown because I know who they are. A lot of people like me that get the same light information because of the melanin in our skin. We're able to pick up cosmic information that's transferred through all type of mediums of electricity that's around us constantly, the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, the food that we eat, and the people that we commune with at all times are designed to give us a good summary, synopsis of what our universe has going on at all times here on Earth and every other planet as well. This information has been taken away from us, this ability to see and be omnipresent has been eradicated by the introduction to us by the Europeans of their spiritual system of how things work around Jesus Christ, which has messed us all up because we're not getting information from the sun, which every melanin person should be relying on the sun information as a good source of information. Now, I claim to you guys that there is space vessels on our planet that's engaged in a war type of competitiveness with our government, where this government is not really the government anymore. They are being exposed as criminals that are being under a system now of seizure, and they are fugitives that are all going to go through the same ritual of mistreatment but due to them. What I'm saying is the same thing that a lot of people on this earth has been put through due process of mistreatment by them. They're going to get put through the same due processes, but it's going to be deserving of them to go through that. That's what I mean. So let's listen to Brother Dawa. I want you to hear him say his part about my proclamation that there is universal entities that are melanated people as well as we are, that has come to our solar system to assist us in our struggle against oppression here on the planet Earth at the hands of our oppressors. And so I just want you guys to listen to what he's saying because he corroborates my story also. Okay, let's go at it.
The quantum physicists, the scumbags at the Jack Parsons or the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, the motherfucking whiz kids in Massachusetts Institute of Technology. All these motherfuckers, they looked and they found out what's in black holes. And they see legions of starships of black people, blue, black, purple-skinned African giants that are on their way to this planet, and they're here already. Some of them are disguised as homeless people, and they're fucking up these white people. They're destroying their planes. They're all over the place. So they can talk all that shit you want, but guess what? This is the terror dome. This is the execution. Now, the righteous, you say that you're going to see the judgment. They said 10,000 people die on your right and 10,000 on your left, and you'll be able to keep on walking, and you'll have substance. Now, that's why we don't live by faith, and I don't live by belief. We believe and evolve into the realm of, like a sister said, of certainty. When you're certain of something, it's not a belief and it's not a faith. It becomes an actuality.
That's absolutely right.
Factual, right? All right? Now, remember, African Panther. So being a master of words, Malcolm said the biggest thing that the devil did was to teach me his history. So just like Malcolm, I'm so proud. I was thrown out of every college I went to. I was thrown out of the Army, and I was thrown out of the National Guard. So I'm proud. That's
This got something else. All right, that's Brother Dawa. So now y'all heard him say himself that some science and brilliant scientist people looked into a black hole and saw a legion of spaceships headed to Earth. I'm sure that scared the shit out of them. That's what the white man's biggest fear is, a fear of a black extraterrestrial. Well, you don't have to fear it now. You can live it. Be back. Mayard Hotel. This is Asabra. Tapping Rob. My eye. Found some footage for you guys that I want you to check out. Okay. This is some very interesting stuff. Let me show you what's going on here. This right here, what you're looking at here, is a vessel that was found on the moon by NASA astronauts, or a space probe, camera surveillance. Someone went there actually, because later down I'm going to show you a picture of this lady they call Mona Lisa, an alien spaceship on the moon. Now, I want to talk to you guys about words for one quick brief second, because this says an alien spaceship on the moon. But how do they know that this ship is not native to the moon? See, the alien spaceship that was on the moon was probably the people who had the nerves to call this spaceship an alien spaceship, when they know they were the damn aliens, because they were not on their own planet, which means that they were the people who came from somewhere else to even be privileged enough to see this. But then, in their state of egoism, they had the nerves to call this ship that they found on the moon an alien spaceship. But the ship that they rode to the moon never got perceived by them as being the same alien spaceship. That's how some people's minds work. It's called egoism. And I just wanted to point that out to you, because the word alien only means one thing: not like us. So now, when they use themes like aliens for people that lives in America that does not have American citizenship, it shows you why our world is so full of racism, prejudices, and discrimination, because any human on the planet Earth should not be looked at by any nationality or any sector of people or any family of people as being an alien. An alien is someone that is in a place that is unknown to them and no one there knows them. But you can see another human being and that human being be unknown to you and you not know them, because that's ego too. Because just because you don't know a person's personification, they should not be a stranger to you, because you should identify another human being as being yourself. You're going to see the same fingers, the same arms, the same tongue, the same teeth, the same eyes, everything. There may be a little bit different in characteristics, but it's still something that you can identify with by identifying with yourself. So therefore, it should not be a stranger. So people should never tell their children, never talk to strangers. The proper thing to tell them is, don't talk to strange people. An action, not a description, okay? Or a complexion. I'm going to read this for you guys, because the name of this lady is Mona Lisa, okay? All right, let's go with this. It says AS20 from frame something. Okay, I won't give it that, but this is a big ship here, really huge. This right here is, look like it fell into a crater, okay? You see it right there? This is the same ship right here, that's right here, in this little crater here, and on the moon, okay? Let me read to you guys what it says. It says, here's a story that has been going around the web since about 2007. It's pretty amazing, and I'm kind of surprised that it hasn't received more attention. I think many editors thought it was too far-fetched to be true. See, that's what's wrong with our world. Because when we see natural stuff that should be going on, we have people around us that want to suppress our ability to think big and to think with potential. So what they do is they don't want you to even fathom that something like this could exist. That way you stay happy being a fry man at McDonald's all your damn life, all right? But any child that know that there's a possibility that they could actually be flying through space in one of these ships right here, you can't control that child and teach it to bow down to Jesus, because Jesus makes everything limited. And a child that wants to be a part of flying vessels like this, their mind going to open up so big and so bright that you're not going to be able to stagnate there with bow down to somebody else for what you need. They're going to be like, no, because see, I want to go to other planets, and the only way I'm going to go to another planet is by going there. And then I'm not going to go to another planet by bowing down to somebody. I'm going to design my own vessel on how to get there. See, that's how these vessels got designed, because someone had a mind at one time to travel through space. And since they thought about doing that, they were able to do it. Okay? So let me go on. I think many editors thought it was too far-fetched to be true. That's what's wrong with our world. Again, people think something is too far-fetched to be true, so when you come up with the idea of doing it, they'll do everything they can to stagnate you because they don't want you to be able to do it because they don't think they can do it, all right? And so they don't try. So when they see you try, they're afraid you might pull it off because you got energy to try it, so they do everything they can to stop you from succeeding other than go out there and use their energy to succeed themselves. Okay, to be honest, we thought it was a hoax until one of the staff here at ViewZone decided to procure the film strips from the NASA site. Notice that there were 2 images of the objects available, taken from different angles, and made a 3D composite image. The results are at the bottom of this page. While we are not confident about the accompanying video and image of the alien entity, the female body, we are surprised that the 3D images do show an actual object on the moon's surface. Okay. Now what it says is that while we are not confident about the accompanying video and images of the alien entity, which is the female body, we are surprised that the 3D images do show an actual object on the moon's surface. Okay. If you have the old red, blue 3D glasses, you can see the spaceship pretty clearly. There's not much doubt that it's a spaceship, either that or a submarine, but we'll leave that up to our readers to decide. Background story. The story comes to us from a man who claimed he was on a special NASA mission. William Rutledge is retired and now lives in Africa. He recently came out to reveal some amazing facts about his involvement with NASA in the late 70s. Rutledge claims to have worked on at least, excuse me, let me put my glasses on. Bear with me 1 minute, okay? I apologize. Okay, Rutledge is retired, lives in Africa. He recently came out to reveal some amazing facts about his involvement with NASA in the late 70s. Rutledge claims to have worked on at least 2 missions to the moon, including the failed Apollo 19 and Apollo 20, which he says was launched in August of 1976 from Vandenberg Air Force Base. Both of these missions, according to Rutledge, were classified joint space missions resulting from collaborations between United States and Soviet governments. I told you they worked together. They do not appear on any roster of NASA missions, and if this is true, for good reasons. Yeah, they wanted to cover up all the stuff they're finding out. Okay. And if this is true, where did I go? Okay. For good reason. The purpose of these missions were to investigate a large object on the far side of the moon and the Deport Isaac region allegedly discovered and photographed during the Apollo 15 mission. So they seen this 5 missions earlier, and it took them 5 more trips to the moon before they could get enough stuff put together to actually go to the thing. It shows you they are persistent, okay? They are very damn persistent. Okay, the object, which vaguely resembled an X-wing fighter as seen in the Star Wars film, was supposed to have been a very large alien spacecraft which had crashed or was otherwise abandoned on the moon in ancient times. Now, what is ancient times? They just mean any time before their time period, okay? And anyway, at any rate, before us. Okay, that's what ancient means. That lets you know right there, when they say ancient time, they are admitting that there was people before them, okay? Because they never show any ancient antiquity of themselves. They always show you statuary ruins of things, the remains of people that they can't even say is them, but they say they're the oldest people on earth. But yet they find remains of civilizations that have moved on or been destroyed by them that they can't claim for themselves, but can't also find a synonymous group of people on earth right now who could go along with these, you know what I mean, forgotten civilizations. But we all know why that's that, because it's the same reason right now what they call ancient, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead down here. It says, how big is the ship? Thanks to website ramistrip.com, we have a graphic to demonstrate when we say huge, we really need another word because it doesn't come close to describe the spaceship. I will let the picture do the talking. Look at that. This is the spaceship right here. Look. Look, you guys. Okay. Images and even videos of this alleged craft has appeared on the web and have been popularized by researchers like Richard C. Hoagland over the last several years. Now listen, let me explain something to you guys so y'all could figure this out yourselves. This is the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France, right? Okay. This right here is 500 meters. Let me tell you what that is. That is the equivalent right there to, you see this thing right here? If you stood it up this way on the side right here, you could probably put 2.5 to make it 2, probably even more, probably 3 of these Queen Mary ocean liner. They say this is 345 meters. That's how long this is. But I'm going to tell you, I believe that it'll be either 2 of those or 3 of those to be the equivalent size of this spaceship. That's just what I'm seeing in my brain, okay? This thing right here is not even going to the bottom of the ship. They're just giving you a ground zero specification for right there, but if you can understand what I'm saying, this ship still has some mass of materialism down here. This is seem to be a quarter ways up from what the actual base of that ship will be down here. That's the reason why I offset this another 2, okay? Now watch, let me explain something to you so you will not be misunderstanding what's going on here. There is nothing unusual about a ship being this big. Alright, it's just that the white man hasn't been able to make anything this big. So since he hasn't been able to make anything this big, he tried to pinpoint the accuracy of shipbuilding to what his limitations is, something like this. Okay, or his planes that fly on the earth. But because that's his limitation does not make it the limitations of everyone, okay? Now let's go on. It said images and even videos of this alleged craft has appeared on the web and have been popularized by researchers like Richard G. Hoagland over the last several years. Okay, now watch this. Now you remember right back when I was reading a while back, they said that they were not sure, or they said they didn't want to give credibility to the entity of the woman that was found in the ship. It's real simple why they don't want to. Look at her. She's a melanated woman. Look at the nose. Okay, look at the nose, all right? And look at everything. You can see braids in her hair, well preserved, like we always do. So I'm going to tell you guys something so you can understand what's going on. This right here, this lady right here, is the same type of connection in our universe that I have. We are time travelers. That's what we are. Now let me explain something to you so you won't get off track here. You see these things right here that she's got on her eye? Do you see it? And they go to her mouth and they over her eyelid. Do you see it? They look like bones, don't they? I bet you these were ways of them communicating with each other. The reason why I say that is because they on her eye, they're on her mouth, they're in her nose where she breathes at, and look, this is what's really amazing. Look at this. Okay, come on, don't start, alright? Well, you can't see it here, but you see those two? They go right there? They go right to the middle of her head center right here, where her pineal gland is at. So those are all your senses of communication, and your most powerful sense of communication is your pineal gland. So this is what I'm saying, you guys. Understand this. This lady, we're not using these eyes. She was not using this nose, and she was not using this mouth. Everything that was necessary for her to sustain herself and live and get by and function was all being fed to her. Her eyes, her vision, her air, as well as her ingestation was all coming to her from a spiritual plane through her pineal gland. And to prove that to you what I'm saying is true is because they were so spiritual and relied so much on universal intelligence to survive that they were actually able to take these little fragments, look like they're bones. They look like actual bones. And they use the hollowness, the cavity inside of these bones to transfer that spiritual energy through. In other words, they kept it all natural. They used everything that our universal creator used. They did not make anything out of metal outside of the ship. But as far as passing spiritual energy through, they kept it on the real plane. They kept it on the molecular structures that were synonymous with biology. Do you understand? Now these people were very wise, and of course they're going to say, well, I don't want to give no authenticity to the nigger woman that's supposed to be the pilot of the ship because nigger women on top of that. But see, I always tell you guys that the smartest thing in this universe is the melanated woman. You understand? And this is proof right here, because you can see the female, called the female black lady is what we use as a description of her. But what this is the female goddess that I tell you guys about, permeates all through the universe and has the ability to bring sustainment. And that's just what she proves right there. She proves I am a badass. She proves that. So I'm telling y'all, we got to wake up and start understanding our universe for what it really is. This right here is something that they would want to cover up because, first of all, the hugeness of the ship. And second of all, this beautiful brown melanated woman having control and power and wisdom to be the captain of something like this. And this is something that with all of the greatness of man on earth, with his Jesus and every damn thing, he has not been able to pull anything like that off. That's the reason they would suppress this. Especially the fact that this is greater than anything they built, even their Eiffel Tower. This will prove that black people have the universe intelligence to outdate anyone, because if you're this advanced where you're making ships out of metal this big, and you can't let some new Johnny-come-latelys who could barely build this thing without having a lot of problems, and these things can blow their ass out of the water right now. This guy cannot come along and try to say anything about him being smarter than people who could build things like this. That's why they would keep this on the down low. Now, if this was a white woman that they found inside of this vessel when they found it, oh, you better believe it'd be just like, it'd be going on. Okay, but let's go on. Recovered by the female. Reuters claims that they, with Soviet cosmonauts, landed a lunar module near the alien ship and actually entered it. Certain artifacts were discovered and recovered, including 2 bodies alleged to be the pilots. One was in excellent condition and appeared to be female. A second body was too deteriorated to recover, and just the head was retrieved. The female has been duped. Mona Lisa. We went inside the big spaceship, also into a triangular one. Triangular, ooh. Listen to that. Did you hear what they said? Listen. It said, we went inside the big spaceship, also into a triangular one. That means that there was 2 ships. Did you hear that, what he said? See, they lying. They didn't show us 2 ships. They showed us 1. But listen what he said in his report. He said, we went inside the big spaceship. That means he gave a description of a big one. He said, also into a triangular one. So there was 2 there. The major part of the exploration was, it was a mothership. Told you, very old, who crossed the universe at least millions of years ago. 1.5 estimated. There was many signs of biology inside. Old remains of vegetation in a motor section. Special triangular rocks who emitted tears of yellow liquid which had some special medical properties, and of course signs of extrasolar creatures. We found remains of little bodies 10 centimeters living in a network of glass tubes all along the ship. But the major discovery was 2 bodies, one intact. The city was named on Earth and scheduled as Station 1, but it appeared to be a real space garbage full of scrap gold parts. Only one construction seemed intact. We named it Cathedral. We made shots of pieces of metal of every part wearing a calligraphy exposed to the sun. Oh, look at that. The city seemed to be as old as the ship, but it is a very tiny part on the rover video. The telephoto lens makes the artifacts greater. I don't remember who named the girl Leonov or me. Was the intact humanoid female, 1.65 meter, genitalized, hair, 6 fingers. We guess that mathematics are based on a dozen. Function, piloting device, mixed 2 fingers and eyes, no clothes. See what he said? Piloting devices, fixed 2 fingers. Ooh, imagine that. And eyes, no clothes. We had to cut 2 cables connected to the nose, no nostrils. See there? Told you guys. I told you. See, if she didn't have no nostrils, that means she was not breathing through there. I told you guys that all that air was coming through those little things. How did I know that? Okay? I don't know how I knew that, but I knew it. Okay, no nostril. Leonov unfixed the eyes device. You will see that in the videos. Concretion of blood or bioliquid erupted and froze from the mouth, nose, eyes, and some parts of the body. See, this is how barbaric these guys could be. They go to this body that's been left in space all this time, and the first thing they do is start making it bleed. That's a damn shame. Okay, some parts of the body were in unusual good condition until we found it. Like everything else, we got to tear stuff up. Unusual good condition. Hair in the skin was protected by a thin, transparent protection layer. As we told to mission control, condition seemed not dead, not alive. We had no medical background or experience, but Leonov and I used a test. We fixed our big equipment on some parts could be unbelievable. Now, I prefer to tell the whole story when other videos will be online. This experience has been filmed in the LM. We found a second body destroyed. We brought the head on board, color of the skin with blue, gray, and past the blue skin had some strange details above the eye. Imagine that. We know what that is. That's that Kundalini energy, that serpent part we always talk about. Just like I'll show you later. Above the eyes and in the front, a strap around the head wearing no inscription. The cockpit was full of calligraphy and formed a long semi-hexagonal tubes. She is on, wait a minute. I got messed up, I'm sorry. Okay, it said in the front, a strap around the head wearing no inscription. The cockpit was full of calligraphy and formed a long semi-hexagonal tubes. She is on Earth and she is not dead, but I prefer to post other videos before telling what happened after. Now they try, I guess what they're saying is when they took the thing off and the lady started bleeding, she wasn't really dead. Oh, there go the thing I was trying to tell you about, how it goes to her pineal gland. See? Do you see what I'm talking about? You see how it's too much of this stuff going on that I've been telling you guys about for it not to be some substantiation to my claim that I'm a time traveler and that I was sent to your earth to repair this earth. And I tell you guys that we have black people, melanated people like this flying all through the universe. When you see all these spaceships and shit zipping around in the stars, that's us. That's who you white people are. See, I tell you white people, you got duped. They took your melanin out of you to make you become the dull-witted people that you are. And I don't say that to be mean. I say that to wake you up. See, some very evil scientists knew of all this stuff that we were capable of doing. This is how wise they are, because they've been to other planets and everything. This is the reason why you see wars going around our planet right now where these starships that he just described, shaped like a triangle, they're here on this earth fighting these people that I'm telling you about has came here and put everybody to sleep. And so, like I said, there is a light technology war going on our planet right now. We have universal mercenaries that has been sent to our planet to fight off these oppressors that has been making life so unbearable for everybody here on this planet. And this war is going on already. This lady right here is a representation of all the stuff I've been telling you guys about that goes on our planet. You guys want to hear something funny? This woman looks just like the people in my family. I have daughters, aunties, sisters that look just like this woman. You can see her hair has braids in it. You can see the braids. Now, do you think that this Russian cosmonaut and this United States of America astronaut, if they wanted to make this hoax story, do you really believe they would take the time out to make something as authentic looking as this woman right here with all this obvious to see melanated hair, these melanated features? I mean, the fat lips, the fat nose, it looks just like my daughter. Just like her. So when I tell you guys the story that I am a universal monarch, and then I have the sun backing me up, showing you, yes, he's not lying. You see all his triangular spaceships right here. Just like they gave a description of the other ship that was on the moon with the ship that they found right there. Now see, it's a mothership. That's what it is. But it's an old mothership that they probably just left there on the moon. Oh, we'll get back to that. You see what I'm saying? Now they trying to say this lady was still alive when they went and got her. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on. We can't just take too much on what speculation could be. If I wanted to speculate, they found this lady on the moon in that ship, still alive. There's not enough damage around that ship to suggest that there was a big war going on there. The fact that she's intact, sitting there behind the cockpit, what I would suggest is that for some reason they was left there, couldn't really sustain themselves, and perished. About her being alive and all that, she doesn't look alive to me, so I won't listen to them on that. She looks really on the other side to me. Let's see what goes on when we push that. Okay, that's nothing. Well, you guys, thanks for holding. I'll be back. I'm going to get the triangle ship that they were talking about so I can show it to you. Peace and blessings. Hotel, ladies and gentlemen, I just discovered that this footage I was getting ready to turn away from was actually something that I shouldn't overlook, because it's actually pretty good. I'm going to share it with you guys, okay? Here we go. I was going to get away from it, but then I started looking at it and I discovered that this is actually their footage of them doing an assessment of this ship here. They are actually inside. While we're here, let's take another look at her. Okay, because I don't think I had that really in focus good. As you can see, they're inside of the cockpit. I guess they want us to believe that they're on the moon. But see, this is... Okay, now, I hate to try to always seem so damn skeptical, alright? I really do, but we have a problem because, see, now they're saying they found this thing on the moon. They're showing you the actual spaceship.